My speedometer needle trembled, pointing at numbers that weren't printed on the dial. At first I thought it was just vibration from the road. The highway had been rough for miles. Patched asphalt, seams that caught the tires and sent a low, steady hum through the chassis. The dashboard lights glowed a dim green, soft enough that the world outside still felt darker than it should have. No moon, just a long stretch of blacktop and the thin white line slipping beneath the headlights. "Did you see that?" I asked. Lena didn't look up from her phone. "See what?" "The needle. It jumped." "It's an old car," she said. "Everything jumps." I watched it again. It steadied at 65 where I'd set it, then gave a small, nervous twitch. Nothing dramatic, just enough to make you question whether it moved at all. I told myself it was the road. We passed a mile marker, 214. The reflective numbers flashed and vanished in the rearview. A gas station sign appeared ahead, its letters half-lit, promising fuel and coffee. I considered pulling off, more out of habit than concern, but as we got closer, the building seemed wrong. The canopy lights flickered in uneven pulses, and the pump stood empty despite 2 cars parked near the storefront. "Want to stop?" I asked. Lena glanced up this time, then shook her head. "Looks closed." It wasn't. I could see a figure moving behind the glass, slow and deliberate, like someone pacing. But by the time I slowed enough to get a better look, we were already past it. The road swallowed the station whole. The speedometer needle dipped, then climbed. 65, 70, back down again. I eased my foot off the gas, feeling the engine respond, the car settle, but the needle didn't follow. It hovered at 72, trembling, as if undecided. "Okay," I muttered. "That's not right." "What?" "The speedometer's off." Lena leaned forward, squinting. "It's just a gauge. Maybe the cable's loose." "Yeah," I said. "Probably." I tapped the glass. The needle snapped down to 60, then crept back up to 72 without any change in how the car felt. The engine note stayed the same, steady, mid-range. The road slid by at a consistent pace. If anything, the car felt slower. "See," Lena said. "It fixed itself." But it hadn't. Not really. The numbers it hovered over weren't quite where they should have been. The tick marks blurred together, and for a moment, just a moment, I thought I saw something beyond them. Faint impressions, like ghosted ink where no numbers were printed. I blinked and they were gone. We drove another 10 minutes in silence. The highway curved gently through low hills, trees crowding the edges. Occasionally, headlights appeared in the distance, passing us with a rush of air that rocked the car slightly. Each time, I glanced at the other driver, expecting to see something off, but they looked normal, just tired people going somewhere else. The needle crept higher. 80 now, though my foot hadn't moved. I pressed the brake lightly. The car responded, the nose dipped, the engine note dropped, but the needle shuddered and held at 80. "Lena," I said, trying to keep my voice even. "We're slowing down, right?" She looked up again, more alert this time. "Yeah." "Why?" "Because it says we're speeding up." She stared at the dial. The green glow caught in her eyes. "That's weird." "Just a glitch," I said quickly. "It's got to be. Maybe the sensor's fried." "Yeah." But as I said it, the needle pushed past 80, past 90. The printed numbers stopped at 100, but the needle didn't. It edged beyond, into the blank space where there should have been nothing. Except there was something. Faint numerals, etched so lightly they were almost invisible, revealed only by the angle of the light and the tremble of the needle. 110. 120. "That's not," Lena started. "I see it," I said. My hands tightened on the wheel. The car didn't feel like it was going that fast. The road still slipped beneath us at a reasonable pace. The engine wasn't screaming. Everything felt normal. Too normal. We passed another mile marker. I frowned. "Didn't we already pass that?" "No," Lena said. "We passed 214 like a while ago." "That was 10 minutes ago. Maybe it's 215. It said 214. We both turned to look back, but the marker was already gone, swallowed by darkness. The needle climbed to 130. I pressed the brake harder this time. The car slowed, there was no doubt about that. I could feel the deceleration, the subtle pull forward, the way the headlights shortened their reach on the asphalt. But the needle jittered and then leapt to 140. Okay, Lena said, her voice tight. That's not just a glitch. I know. Pull over. I looked at the shoulder. Gravel, narrow, with a steep drop beyond. No streetlights. No signs. The idea of stopping out here, in the middle of nowhere, felt worse than keeping going. Let's find an exit, I said. There was supposed to be one at 216, Lena said, scrolling on her phone. It's not showing anymore. What do you mean? It's just gone. The map's blank past here. The needle hit 150. The car began to feel wrong. Not faster, if anything, slower. The trees on either side seemed to stretch, their shadows dragging across the road in long, smeared shapes. The white lines blurred, then sharpened, then blurred again like a stuttering frame rate. Headlights appeared behind us. I checked the mirror. A truck, maybe, its beams high and glaring. Closed the distance too quickly, then hung there, just off my bumper. Can you go faster? Lena asked. I don't think speed matters anymore. The needle twitched to 160. The truck didn't pass. It stayed there, perfectly aligned, its lights unwavering. I tried to change lanes, but as soon as I drifted left, the truck did too, matching me exactly. Just let it go, Lena said. I'm trying. I slowed again. The truck stayed with us. The needle climbed to 170. Then, without warning, the truck's lights blinked out. Not dimmed, not turned away, just gone. The road ahead changed. The asphalt darkened, losing its reflective sheen. The lane markings faded, then disappeared entirely. The edges of the highway bled into the trees, and the trees leaned closer, their branches forming a loose canopy overhead. This isn't right, Lena whispered. No, I said. The steering wheel felt heavier in my hands. I turned slightly, testing it, but the car didn't respond immediately. There was a delay, subtle but unmistakable, like steering through thick water. The needle slid past 180. More numbers appeared beyond the dial now, clearer than before. 190, 200. They weren't printed. They seemed to exist beneath the surface, revealed only by the needle's path. What happens at the end? Lena asked. There is no end. There has to be. The car lurched forward. For the first time, the sensation matched the reading. The engine roared. The world outside smeared into streaks of gray and black. The trees became vertical lines, the road a continuous ribbon with no texture. My stomach dropped like cresting a hill at impossible speed. I slammed the brakes. Nothing. The pedal went soft beneath my foot, offering no resistance. Lena, I know. She grabbed the door handle, then froze. It won't open. Of course it won't. The needle hit 210. Ahead, a sign emerged from the blur. Green, reflective, hanging over the road where there had been no overpass before. Exit 214. That's not possible, I said. We already passed. I know. The arrow pointed right. The road split, though I hadn't seen it coming. One lane continued straight into darkness. The other curved off toward something that wasn't quite visible. Take it, Lena said. We have to try something. The wheel resisted, but I forced it right. The car shuddered, as if objecting, then slid onto the exit ramp. The moment we did, the world snapped into focus. The speed dropped, or at least it felt like it did. The engine quieted. The trees regained their shape. The road became asphalt again, with visible cracks and gravel at the edges. I looked at the speedometer. The needle rested at 0. We were still moving. Slowly now, rolling down the ramp toward a cluster of lights below. A small town, maybe, or just a roadside stop. Buildings sat in neat rows, their windows glowing warmly. It looked normal. Safe. Too safe. The ramp ended at an intersection with a single sign. Welcome to mile 214. Why does it say that? Lena asked. I didn't answer. The car rolled to a stop on its own. The engine cut out. The dashboard lights flickered, then steadied. The speedometer needle trembled one last time. Then it moved. Not forward, not backward, but sideways, sliding across the dial to a place where no numbers had ever been. The faint markings there were clearer now, etched deep beneath the glass. I leaned closer, my breath fogging the surface. It wasn't a number. It was a word. Arrived. Outside, the building's lights flickered in unison. Doors opened, one by one, and figures stepped out onto the sidewalks, all turning toward us at the same time. The car doors unlocked with a soft click. Don't, I said, grabbing Lena's arm as she reached for the handle. But the needle moved again, twitching upward from arrive to something just beyond it. Another mark, barely visible. A new word forming. Waiting. A car ahead signaled right, but turned left without moving sideways. At first, it didn't even register as wrong. My brain smoothed it out the way it always does with late-night driving, filling gaps, correcting angles, making sense of motion in the narrow tunnel of headlights and reflective paint. The right blinker clicked on, amber and steady, and the sedan drifted left. Not a swerve, not a correction. It simply began occupying the space to its left as if the road had shifted under it. Did you see that? I asked. Maya glanced up from the map on her phone. See what? The car ahead. It never mind. We were on a two-lane mountain road, the kind that wound through dark hills with no guardrails and only occasional mile markers nailed into the dirt. The asphalt felt coarse under the tires, a constant vibration humming through the steering wheel. Pine trees pressed close on either side, their trunks flashing past in stuttering intervals. The sedan's right blinker kept ticking. It was still in our lane. Maybe it's the camber, Maya said after a second, squinting ahead. Road slopes weird here. Yeah, I said. Could be. We followed at a comfortable distance. Its taillights glowed a steady red, brake lights never flaring, speed consistent. The right signal clicked, reflected faintly on the road surface in rhythmic pulses. Click, flash, click, flash. Another curve approached, a gentle bend to the right. The sedan signaled right again, no change there. But as it entered the curve, it didn't follow the arc. Cut left, straight across the bend, and somehow ended up ahead of us again, perfectly centered in the lane. I tightened my grip on the wheel. Okay, that was not the road. Maya leaned forward. Wait, how did it? I don't know. You saw that. I saw it. We drove in silence for a while after that. The road climbed higher, the air thinning, the darkness deepening into something that felt almost physical. Occasionally, a distant pair of headlights would appear far below, winding along some lower stretch of highway, then vanish behind the hills. The sedan maintained its distance, not gaining, not falling back, just there. Its right blinker never stopped. Maybe the turn signal's stuck, Maya said, her voice quieter now. Electrical issue. Doesn't explain the turning. Maybe we're tired. Both of us saw it. She didn't respond. The next mile marker flashed past. 58. I glanced at the odometer, then back at the road. We'd been driving this stretch for at least 20 minutes. The numbers should have changed more. Ahead, the sedan slowed slightly. Not enough to brake, just a subtle easing. I matched it without thinking. The engine note dipped, the dashboard glow steady against my hands. The car ahead drifted right this time. Except it didn't move. The body stayed perfectly aligned in the lane, tires never crossing the painted edge, but the car itself shifted, like a reflection sliding across glass. For a moment, it occupied two positions at once, one centered, one slightly to the right, before snapping back to a single solid shape. Okay, Maya whispered. No, that's not. I know. It's an illusion. Yeah. It has to be. Yeah. The blinker clicked. Flash, click, flash. The road straightened out, giving us a longer view ahead. No intersections. No driveways. just a narrow ribbon of asphalt cutting through black forest. The sedan signaled right again. Then it turned left. This time, it didn't even pretend to follow the road. It slid across it, perpendicular for a split second, then realigned itself ahead of us, as if it had taken a path we couldn't see. I felt something shift in my chest. Not fear exactly, but a kind of wrongness that settled deeper than panic. Like realizing a rule you'd always relied on didn't apply anymore. Should we pass it? Maya asked. I considered it. The oncoming lane was empty, stretching out into darkness. I don't think I want to be next to it. Then slow down. I eased off the gas. The car responded, speed dropping gradually. The sedan did the same. I slowed more. So did it. Okay, I said. That's new. It's matching us, Maya said. Yeah. I accelerated slightly. The sedan surged forward, not by speeding up, but by being farther ahead. The distance between us remained exactly the same, no matter what I did. The blinker clicked faster now. Not in rhythm with the car, but with something else. The flashes came too quickly, overlapping, casting jittery amber reflections across the road. Click, 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 click. Turn it off, Maya said, as if I had any control over it. I can't. I mean, it's blinker. I know what you meant. The road curved left this time, a sharper bend hugging the side of the mountain. I turned the wheel, following the arc. The sedan ahead didn't. It stayed straight. Not straight along the road, straight through it. For a moment, it was angled differently than the asphalt beneath it, its body cutting across the curve while still somehow remaining ahead of us. Then it snapped back into alignment. My stomach tightened. It's not using the road. Maya shook her head. No, it is. It has to be. Look at it. I am. The next mile marker appeared. 58. We both saw it. That's not possible, Maya said. We passed that already. Twice. The forest seemed closer now, the trees leaning inward, their branches forming dark shapes that brushed the edges of the headlights. The road narrowed, though I knew it hadn't actually changed. The sedan's brake lights flared suddenly. I slammed my foot on the brake. The car slowed, tires gripping the rough asphalt. But the sedan didn't get closer. It stayed exactly where it was, its brake lights glowing steadily. Then, without moving, it was farther away. Did you see that? Maya said. Yeah. It just jumped. Yeah. The blinker stopped. For the first time since we'd noticed it, the clicking ceased. The silence felt louder than the sound had been. Then the left blinker came on. Flash. The sedan turned right. Not by steering. Not by drifting. It simply rotated, its front end pointing into the trees while its body continued forward. For a moment, it was driving sideways relative to the road. Then it straightened out again, perfectly centered. It's reacting, I said. To what? To us. Maya looked at me. Then stopped following it. I'm not following it. Yes, you are. We could have turned around miles ago. She was right. The road behind us was empty. No headlights. No signs. Just darkness. Turn around, she said. I hesitated. Ahead, the sedan slowed again. His brake lights pulsed once, twice, like a signal. Don't, Maya said, her voice sharp now. Don't respond to it. I'm not. The sedan's left blinker flashed faster. Then faster still, until it became a continuous glow. The road ahead changed. Not visibly at first. The texture of the asphalt remained the same, the painted lines still faintly visible. But the space felt different, wider, deeper, as if the road extended somewhere it shouldn't. The sedan moved forward. Not along the road. Through it. Its tires didn't lift, didn't leave the surface. It simply continued straight while the road beneath it curved away, the two paths diverging. For a moment, the car existed at an angle that made no sense. Then it was ahead again, centered, waiting. It's not driving on this road, I said. Maya didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on the dashboard. The signal, she whispered. I looked. The reflection of its blinker flickered across our windshield. But it wasn't amber anymore. It was pale, almost white, and it wasn't reflecting from the car ahead. It was coming from our own indicator. The right turn signal was on. I started. Click, flash, click. I reached to turn it off. The lever didn't move. Ahead, the sedan's brake lights came on again. Slowed, waiting. The road split. Not into lanes, not into an exit, into something else. One path continued along the mountain, familiar and narrow. The other dipped into darkness, the asphalt fading into something smooth and unmarked. The sedan took the second path. It didn't turn. It just aligned with it. The blinker in our car clicked faster. "Don't follow it," Maya said, her voice breaking. "I'm not trying to." But the wheel felt light in my hands, almost eager. The car drifted, not turning, just shifting into the other path. The moment we crossed onto it, the sound of the tires changed. The rough hum vanished, replaced by a soft, frictionless glide. The trees pulled back, their shapes stretching into vertical smears. The sedan ahead stopped. We rolled closer, unable to slow. The hazard lights came on, blinking in unison. Both directions, both signals at once. Flash. In that light, I saw it clearly for the first time. There was no driver, no interior, just empty space where a cabin should be, the road visible straight through it. Our blinker clicked in time with its hazards. I finally understood. It hadn't been signaling a direction. It had been marking a choice. The lever in my hand gave way. The signal switched. Left.